All right, now welcome to SE Custom Designs. This is a very exciting episode because I've made my very first panel in the shape of that, which is kind of a triangle-ish. That looks like it was pushed over. Woo! Okay, so if you're not following the series at this point, what this is this is the support system to hold the top panel, um, which is the plexiglass. Okay, so that's up in the stairwell. It's all to stop the heat from going upstairs. But now I want to show you something very exciting. I wish I would have taken my picture or did the video when I was all covered in dust. There's actually still dust floating around in the wood shop. Uh, so I'll be vacuuming up for quite a while. I did some vacuuming, but well, here we go. But before I reveal how amazingly gorgeous it is, I'm going to give you router tips on making panels. Okay, so this is your typical panel, by the way, your raised panel in the typical shape. This one here, however, is triangular. Isn't that so cool? I bet you can't wait. So I did not video myself going through all of this because it's very, let me just say, I personally have to concentrate a lot on what I'm doing. Plus it takes a lot of passes to remove the material. If this were a small panel router bit, then okay, so maybe I could get it done quicker. But I found that I was concentrating so much, well, first of all, on my safety, right? The last thing you need is for you to slip your hand into a router bit like that and say goodbye to your fingers. I'm not trying to scare you, but that's the reality of such a thing. So let me just say, I think I made at least 8 passes in order to get my panel completed, okay? 8 passes. And I went a little deeper than I usually do on it. But that being said, okay, so the tips. The first obvious tip are these feather boards. You want to, in my opinion, put these feather boards as close to the router bit as possible so it can continuously push down on the stock as it's going through the router bit. The last thing you want is for the board to lift in either direction, all right, even this way. And with this being as long as it is, just going to grab a tape measure. You can imagine how easy it would have been for me to, lift, and I did lift on it a few times. So we have approximately 20 inches. Okay, by the time we get to the edge here, we have approximately, yeah, I was not too far off, 19 and a half or so inches, okay? So feather boards, feather boards, feather boards. And this is a very simple push block. This is the GRR rip block, okay? And what it's going to help you do is obviously, you know, with the rear drop downs there, it's going to pull the stock along. So that's less concentrating you have to do if you were just pushing the material through with your hands, which I kind of had to do at first until I got used to what I was doing here with this project. Because I don't do this every day. If I did this every day, this wouldn't even be much of a conversation for me. I'd just give you real quick tips and I'd be done. But I don't do it every day, so I just take my time. And then what's really, really important is when I'm about here, okay, and I'm coming here, this gripper is giving me even pressure right here. When I was pushing it through without the gripper, this was lifting, especially when it got to here, past the feather board, okay? And so I was able to continuously push down. Another thing you want to do, and this may all sound obvious, and if you're doing this all the time, then you could skip way ahead or whatever. Pushing the stock against the fence is critical when you get to the end, because what can happen is you're going to get to the end like this, and it's going to dip in if you're not pushing here, this stock against the back fence. Okay, so that's that. Now, that being said, dust collection. I used my shop vac, the Craftsman, and still, when I opened this up, I had material like this. Now, that could be because the bench dog dust collection system is not that impressive. What can I say? I don't know. I don't have any other reference points. I can tell you, actually, I do. Now that I have my horizontal, this dust collection system here is really good. I'm surprised at how much the dust collection system works on there. Okay. Now, I didn't have my Jet 14, I keep saying 14 inch. That's a 14-inch Jet bandsaw. I didn't have my Jet dust collecting system there hooked up. Now that has a lot more sucking power. Okay. But needless to say, this guy here does a pretty good job. So, all right. Any other tips? Raise two tips with the bit. What you're going to want to do is raise the bit little by little by little by little. You do not want to, if you're a novice, you might think, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and, do it in one pass. You destroy your wood if you try to do that. And it's very dangerous to do. So in other words, raise your unit up little by little by little and take many passes. Another thing I do is I take the fence and I pull it way out here when I'm first starting. So not only is it much lower, it's also not taking as much this way. Then I eventually go ahead and move it all the ways back to where it needs to go. Another thing that I do is I move my backboards here into the router bit, okay, so that it eats away into this area, because I need this as close as I possibly can into the system, okay, because naturally the more fence you have to push your stock against and go across, the better, more stable it's going to be for the operation. Oh, I think I got it all. Now I had this guy on there initially, and he goes here. Now if this weren't this type of bit, I could push it down on the stock, and that would help hold it down in the middle. That would be really, really cool. But what I did is I put them on here. I thought, the dust collection system doesn't seem that good. So I put it on to see if it was any better. It may have been. I couldn't tell you, because I was really concentrating on this. Let's see, any other tips I can give you? So if you look up the bench dog, they don't sell this particular model anymore. Okay, they have other styles here, so they retired this guy. All right, so let's come over and the big reveal. I don't think I showed it to you. All right, here we go, and bam! Check that out, my friends. How's that for an interesting panel? Let's come down a little bit lower. Now it isn't perfect, and I'm going to have to, come along and do some sanding in here. But for the most part, I am really, really psyched. I thought it did a pretty good job. Almost looks like something out of Star Wars. Look at that. And this is fairly deep here. It's interesting. One of the first things my wife said when I showed it to her, she said, "Hey, check this out." Immediately, without hesitation, she's like, "Can you sand? Can you do something pretty with this?" I said, "Sure, no problem." So, we have I finally mounted the 66 router bit set from MLCS Woodworking. And if we open this guy up, look at all those bits. Look up that series, or the series of videos that we did. So I'll probably, we'll see what we'll do. It obviously has to be one of the smaller bits. So, I could put a bevel on it, or I could just do a simple little round over on it, like put the round over bit on there. So it remains to be seen what it is I'm going to do down there. We'll see. I don't have a lot of room to get in there, okay, because it's not that proud, not that high. Oh, so let's have a look at it inside the unit. Let's see if we can do that. And this will, for all intents and purposes, this will be the upright position there. So let's bring it over here. All right, we'll set it under here. Yeah, I decided I would do this freehand, and I generally don't do that anymore because it's hard to do. And there it is, my friends. Let's see if we can do it any justice. Come up here. Look how nice that is. Wow, what an amazing piece that is. Come down and do a little bit of a flyover. Now it's going to be recessed into the side here. So what I have to do is take this frame, for all intents and purposes, apart. And that was an interesting journey just to get this piece joined up. Particularly, these two pieces come into this one piece here. Okay, as opposed to just one piece into the other like that. The interesting part was being able to screw it in and get my screws to going this way. What way? Yeah, they're going this way, right? So you wouldn't know that by looking at this. You think they went that way. So that was an interesting experience. So I'm quite pleased. I didn't know if I was going to be able to pull this off or not. And thank God. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Yeshua. And that was Hebrew for bless the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I got it done. All right. So that was that. Follow the series. The series of me having fun in the wood shop. This is day 2 of vacation, Christmas vacation. Unfortunately, we have to go out now, which means I won't be in the wood shop. But I'm pleased with my efforts for today, and when I come back, I'll hopefully get to do some more in the wood shop. So, well, like I said, so I have to put a cavity here to receive this panel, and I'll probably use the horizontal. I want to get more experience. Please let me know out there, subscribers. Does anybody else have a horizontal router table? So that's the last bit. I had a lot of fun using that bit there. Gonna make some crown molding with that. So yeah, I'm gonna use this. So you follow me on the journey here and all the things that I did to get this guy up and running. Okay, it didn't just come out of the box ready to go. I had to do, and I've got to do more tweaking to it, but at least I got it tweaked enough. One of the major additions was putting this oak fence back there. So, yeah, look that series up. All right, let's go ahead and stop. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Click the bell, and you'll get a notification that something cool is up, headed your way. Shalom uvracha. Master Lami, tot ziens. Zeitchen. Bye-bye.